they're pulling out all the stops, right? They're playing Quinn on his Storm. They're playing the 7 and 1 Undying in this tournament. Kunkka has looked great, has a very high win rate as well. That will, however, be played by Ace in the offlane. I feel like mostly we've seen the mid and carry position, but of course this hero can go to all the roles. DROW has also seen a resurgence, so plenty of good heroes where Gaiman are coming from. And my biggest concern for Aurora is dealing with the Storm. The panel was talking about that too. Do you have the lockdown? We'll see. Malady.
Yep,
Nightmare up.
Let's get down to half HP. Gets the Nightmare off, though. Don't think anything's going to turn into a First Blood as Mira gets to the high ground. Well, I say that. They're going to continue to pursue, it seems. I mean, Malady, very good level 1 hero. Blood Grenade comes out again onto Panto. Doesn't have Nightmare for 5 seconds, and this actually looks like it will be First Blood potentially. Pops the Fairy Fight now under the cover of the Tier 2. Uses Nightmare on himself, and the Ether Shock. Still not enough. My goodness, as close as it gets. Still no First Blood. We'll be able to walk away as Quinn and Kiyotaka. This is going to be a very, very spicy mid-lane matchup.
He does have Timber Chain. Malady must be dead here, surely.
Blood Grenade applied. Toronto Tokyo is there to finish the job. It ends up being a trade of supports, but like the panel was saying, Timbersaw can rip right through the Undying.
Time for Water Rune. This would be a huge one to take away. Panto is on the way, but I think he's too late.
You know, gets the Nightmare.
Narrowly.
Quinn bottles it up. Still going to be pursued, though. Kiyotaka chasing. Double shield crash. That's enough. As Mira coming from the other side, the sticky bomb applied to Tofu. And Kiyotaka, he's going to get shackled under the cover of the tower. Mira's going to have to get some aggro off of it, but he's not going to do it in time. Okay, he does. Just barely. Tofu in the cover of the trees now. Going to get the Hex off. Sticky bomb available again. And that'll be enough.
All right, he also has a healing salve on the Techie, so he can actually stay in the fight here. If he salves up, the heroes that you wanted to counter at the time were Lina and Pango. DROW has one of the better heroes against Pango, massive damage, and they did exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
That is unfortunate for Gaiman, but they at least get Toronto Tokyo in the top lane.
Without a doubt, a good trade for Aurora, though.
Yeah, Quinn, second death for him, and bigger on top of that is that his TP is on cooldown for 23 seconds, so we'll have to either wait or walk back the old-fashioned way. Mira going to be surrounded. Will be the death of him. Should mention that he did take the facet that makes Blast Off stronger.
Yeah. Easily the highest win rate.
As Ace. Oh, man. The Wisdom Shrine. Panto. Oh. Kiyotaka. All right, they're going to get the Laguna Blade onto Malady. He's going to get dropped right off the bat. Kiyotaka with his ult as well. Quinn trying to force Panto out of the circle. And Quinn will be the gladiator that wins. As Panto eventually drops. So a good contest from Aurora, but Gaiman shut it down.
Yeah, if you get Tombstone off there, it's tough. Rolling Thunder is so incredibly powerful at that point in time. Blast of up top onto Watson.
TP's coming for him. Actually pops a huge wand as Ace take a whirling death to the face as the Timber Chain mistimed a bit, and now he's in trouble. Toronto Tokyo getting off the Chakram again, trying to exit, but Malady is there with a decay. Panto was trying to finish off Watson, but Malady with the heal. So a lot being shut down by Gaiman as the TP is successful here.
You're a trusty mate.
Panto. He gets the Nightmare, okay. What's the play here exactly?
Yeah, what's the end game on this play?
All right, gets X'd.
Okay.
All right, he wastes a lot of time. That's what we'll call that.
Yeah.
And he makes Panto.
A funny one. Yeah.
Yeah.
One spell available from the Lina should be enough. No mana, but
I would think so.
the attacks will do it. Actually, the range creep getting the last hit. Well done.
Kiyotaka a bit low on mana as reinforcements arriving for Gaiman.
10-minute rune time. Means 3v3 mid.
No. Nightmare from Panto. It's illusions only, so Malady will just snag it. Shackle. Already the shield crash, though. The blast off is there as Tofu gets healed up. A nice soul rip, but now the tombstone is placed. The silence applied now to Kiyotaka, getting off his ult, but no. It actually does go off, and he dies inside of it.
Yeah, that's a worst case scenario. Now he doesn't have it when he comes back to life. Gaiman with a good collapse there. They don't get the rune for Quinn, but they do get the rune for themselves, and They activate their Undying and they pressure the mid tower, and now onto Panto.
Oh, yeah. That is a lot of damage. The early group up from Gaiman Gladiators. We've seen it time and time again. Now they have the snakes available, too. So Tofu and company, I'm actually not sure they needed this, but they will take the tier 1 either way. Oh, and they're going to see a little juicy stack here as well. Panto denying a rune, but he might suffer the consequences. Gets off the Nightmare. Well, actually, ends up being reciprocated onto Quinn.
Quinn?
Not intended, but this should be a freebie for Gaiman.
Actually, Tombstone that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's going to be a free gold influx for somebody. Definitely good against the Timbersaw, that's for sure. As they actually get the Hex initiation. Nightfall in a lot of trouble. Double TP coming. A nice Nightmare going to block the damage from the boat into a grip now as Nightfall tries to walk out. Looks like he might fall. There's a big blast off onto 2. Toronto Tokyo in the midst of things will be stunned up. Aurora's already lost 2 though, as here comes a shield crash from Kiyotaka. Deletes Quinn. Tofu likely next on the list, although Watson, we've seen this before, doing a lot of damage onto the Rolling Thunder target, but just not enough in the bank yet. So a 3 for 3.
On which one of them?
Timber, Panto. Gets initiated on. Looks like they're going to clean him up as a Tombstone is placed, but...
Well, it's just going to be a clean disengage here from Mira, but they get if they get a Dispel for the Axe at least.
Oh. Yotaka. Yeah,
nice
it's actually going to be a super easy kill.
Yeah.
They might have some action down here. Toronto Tokyo. He will get hexed, but they get the stun. Oh my god, Quinn just gets deleted. They were waiting for him. A big bait coming out from Aurora. Shield Crash Laguna. Okay, interesting target. They'll get the roster regardless here. Trying to take out the Tombstone. It is taking out the Nightmare. Blocks the Kunkka damage again. As Toronto Tokyo getting to the high ground, you can see the hypothermia going to work on him, not getting too much regen, but the chase will continue. Kiyotaka still had his ult. Watson applying a lot of pressure to Nightfall. Will pop the Essence Ring as Kiyotaka burning all the mana of Watson. He has no other members that close to him. Panto can't do too much here. That might just be the end of the fight. You can see the lack of catch from Aurora, but they were waiting in the wings, Cinderin.
Yeah.
Mira. Shaded on again, a nice Nightmare yet again into the Gust though. This will be the death of the techies, or Funny Bomb Man if you ask Slacks.
Yep. Nobody's eyeing it up either in general, so he will have a nice time with this for a
He'll
while.
be the target to start. The Twisted Chakram comes out. Well, they're going to get the X now. Boat at the ready. Malady uses his ultimate along with the Tombstone, but now Gaiman kind of disengaging a bit as Kiyotaka shows off the Rolling Thunder. Toronto Tokyo Company trying to take out the Tombstone, but it's going to be healed up, and now this Timbersaw is melting with the hypothermia, and the boat is coming for Kiyotaka. 2 big kills for Gaiman.
What a bait.
They fake back and then re-engage and destroy.
It's like a Tombstone. It's a level 1 Tombstone. And the Timbersaw alone stands and hits it for 10 seconds, and then it gets healed, and his shield runs out. He effectively killed himself going for a Tombstone that wasn't doing anything. And that's massive for Gaiman. They get 2 kills on 2 cores and a tier 2 for that.
Panto. Oh, Horsey. Tofu. Oh my god, he actually gets to the other side of the trees, but the bombs are there. Meanwhile, blast up on the other side. The Rasta eventually will be taken out. The Yules is going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Quinn focusing on Kiyotaka. This is a big kill. Tidal Wave. Gaiman Gladiators get a big one again. It's only at the cost of Tofu.
Either uninterested or unaware, and either way the outcome's the same. Aegis on the drow. Okay. If they find a pick, then possibly Kiyotaka has roll up.
Yeah, he does have roll up. The grip finding the Rasta. Torrent is coming though, along with the boat. Rasta dead again, but it's going to be at the cost of what? Panto drops, so that's a 1-for-1. Techies follows suit. Kiyotaka in a 1 versus 4 right now, but the Laguna Blade finding Quinn. He's at half HP, zips away. He's fine. Kiyotaka, now he's kind of stuck in a precarious spot. And that shield crash not going to do too much.
They need
That's
Timber.
the death of him and the death of the tier 2.
They need Timber in the mid. And Shaman is actually top, so this would be a 5-on-4, but Aurora don't know this. And they just have to let this one go. Nice attempt there from Ace with the Torrent. If that connects, he can maybe find a Tidal Wave. will at least give him that window of opportunity. Gaiman, though, will get the initiation onto Panto, the dream target.
Yeah, but the grip onto Quinn. Laguna to follow.
Remember,
they're
he
able
does
to
not
disrupt
have the
it,
Aegis.
though. Yeah, he's super low, going to the south now. Not a whole lot of mana. Toronto Tokyo is slowed by these zombies, and it looks like Quinn will survive. Oh, actually, Nightfall getting caught in a horrible spot now. He drops to the deck along with Mira. That's 3 dead for Aurora, and it's high grounding time.
Wow,
That's what the Aegis is for, Cinderin.
sometimes Dota is just a game of like 2%. Like if Quinn dies there, that's such a different fight, but he manages to find a way out with the haste rune. Aurora were missing the last little piece there, and now Gaiman in a commanding position.
Big ol' zip onto Toronto. He gets off the reactive armor. Ags is getting X. Nightmare to try to disrupt it. It works. Gets gusted, though. He does blow up, and now he's susceptible with the hypothermia stacks. Teammates don't want to stand near. Toronto Tokyo dead for 50, and the high ground has arrived for Gaiman. 1 minute on the Aegis. They're going to get plenty.
Yeah, 40 seconds.
And the crazy thing is Watson is not even, I mean, obviously he's important right now, but his farm can get so much bigger in this game.
This has worked out wonderfully for Gaiman. 10,000 advantage gained with an Aegis. It's pretty rare we see that go to 5-digit.
Yeah.
And they're not done yet. Bottom lane. This is kind of already last stand territory for Aurora. 28 minutes in. Quinn is back up to full resources in spite of that fight just happening. Nice little find there from Mira, but can't get the job done against Tofu's Shadow Shaman.
Tombstone placed ahead of time. Rolling Thunder. As they're going to delete the techies to start things out. Kiyotaka not finding any connection. In fact, he's already at half HP. He just gets destroyed. Watson. I mean, the DROW versus the Pango can sometimes be pretty bad in the late game scenarios, which it's 28 minutes in. So I don't know if I call this late game. This is a second lane for Gaiman as the Aegis will expire here. Watson back to full mana. And I don't see why they need to stop.
No, they're going to keep going here. Quinn up to 24 galvanized stacks, so he's going to consistently have the resources needed to continue fighting on and on. And the third lane, about to be another 30-minute game today. That's really been the theme for most games. Pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
This one is no different. Gaiman Gladiators will get the 29-minute mega creeps.
And they will exit in time. Aurora not even trying to defend there without the 5.
True that. They caught megas with Aegis number 1. When does that happen?
No, the grip. Finding the Kunkka. They have the burst. Big zip from Quinn. Trying to delete Panto. He cannot. He's actually close to out of mana right now. Toronto Tokyo pops his reactive armor. Quinn with the follow-up BKB. Kiyotaka already with a couple hypothermia stacks and now going to focus onto Toronto Tokyo for Watson. Easy pick off. The net worth advantage really showing here. And Kiyotaka will be able to find the Rasta, but likely at the cost of his own life. One more zip for Quinn, finishes it. And that is no buyback available for Kiyotaka. They do have one for Toronto Tokyo. Is Watson actually sticking around? All right, that's going to force the buyback. And now the instant exit. Gets off the multi-shot, though, as Watson. Going to get help with a big zip from Quinn. Mira, he didn't even bother finishing him off, apparently. Watson gets off the BKB. It's going to be traded with the Nightfall BKB as well. So Gaiman likely just resetting until all the resources are back up, and they will attempt to finish this game.
The most likely to be able to pull it off?
Yakult Brothers, right?
Team Spirit.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But they're not in the tournament.
Yeah.
No worries.
They have,
Toronto Tokyo is no longer in the game.
Yeah,
so
and he doesn't have buyback, so
well,
that might just do it.
Time for the heroic 4v5 from Aurora.
They're just getting rid of these buildings that are called buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, they never bothered to change that name, but no, we can't have Grab Out.
Yeah. Well, maybe if I start obnoxiously calling it something else. The Moonwell!
Why are they still called building? That's a good point. There's like different types.
I don't know.
And they're all just called building.
Well, the effigies are different than the buildings, of course. The other buildings are going down. The tier 4s, as here's the last stand from Aurora. They blow everything onto DROW. It's actually enough. Cost them a Bane buyback as Nightfall goes back to the base, and now the LSA onto Kunkka. Ace gonna get Nightmare closer to the fountain. Tidal Wave comes out. The pushing without the DROW is pretty pitiful, so Gaiman, I was gonna say, might want to just reset here again. Of course, Watson does have buyback, but I mean, this is definitely not a situation that you do that, surely.
Oh, Kiyotaka's in there.
Double shield crash. Tidal Wave gonna miss thanks to the Yules. Kiyotaka, he's X'd up at the moment. Lotus applied to Quinn. Nightmare. Kiyotaka doesn't have ult for quite a bit. Uses the roll up, though. Toronto Tokyo coming to play now. Tidal Wave gonna hit on one. The creeps are in the base, by the way, so this could end without us even knowing, as Kiyotaka gets bursted down to the ground. Buyback instantly. Laguna Blade. Rasta stays alive a little bit longer thanks to foul play. Actually blinks to safety. He's actually going to survive this. Another buyback coming out from the side of Aurora. It's now or never, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Tokyo. He's left alone because the rest of his allies are going to have to try to defend. Panto. Nightmare's a very tanky target. Nobody going to help.
Yeah.
Big zip again from Quinn. Swashbuckle going to be dodged. He's actually out of mana here. Quinn going to get soul ripped. Rolling Thunder again from Kiyotaka. Quinn is dead. All right. Watson has made an appearance with the Glacier as well. He's already expended his BKB. And again, the creeps are hitting the buildings as Watson and company just trying to distract Aurora from the inevitable fate of their base. 3 dead for Gaiman as the Undying instantly comes back to life thanks to his innate. And now the Ancient fully exposed. Tier 4's down. Gaiman gonna try to finish this without their Storm Spirit. Quinn, of course, does have buyback. Kiyotaka jumping in, has a blade. All right, not every day you see that. As the Hex, Hurricane Pike, goodbye, Toronto Tokyo. As Watson can do whatever the hell he wants at this stage of the game. Gonna get soul ripped as the Laguna Blade does literally nothing to Ace as the NNGG comes out from Nightfall. So we will go to a game 3.
Yeah. Took Gaiman a little bit longer than expected after they took the first lane of Barracks. That looked like a game that was going to end there and then, but Aurora made...
Actually, the end screen, there are 6 Gale Guards.
That's fine. It's been nerfed, right?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's OP, but either way, Cinder, we get a game number 3, Sheever.